Hello. It is Tuesday morning at, give or take 9:30. And on your screen right now is a black bean. I know, why would I put a black bean on the screen? Well, I've got the black bean on the screen and I'm going to pull it over a bit to the left, slowly, ever so slowly. And there. And you can see that the black bean is growing on the fence. There. That's got a nice close-up of it. That's called vertical gardening. For what it's worth, that's the term that some people decide. It grows up on a fence. This whole video is going to be about with a little bit of space. Now, little is a comparative term, I realize. What I'm going to show you is held within, for the most part, that's 4 meters wide and, I guess maybe 10 meters long, 40 square meters. But the thing about it is that these beans you're looking at right now, as well as pretty much everything else I'm going to show you, are planted in pots. You can do this anywhere you have sunlight for 6 hours a day and soil that you can find and put old vegetables in and peach eye, dead leaves, cut grass, anything you want to compost it to make it really good soil. And then you can start doing what we are, which is intensive gardening in a small area. Now, from the black beans, I'm going to very slowly pull it over. This is going to take a while, folks, but you get a nice view of the garden. And there, if it focuses in, yeah, we've got more beans coming around from the beans. Now we're getting into the fence. Okay, there's the fence. I'm going to bring this down now, folks. Never an easy thing for me to do. But as I say, we grow everything in pots, except fish. And what you're looking at now is a 3-tier bamboo bleacher, I guess you could call it, like at a baseball field, a basketball game, whatever, a school gym. And we made it out of bamboo. You can see pots, very inexpensive plastic pots to buy. But we fill them with dirt and we put green onions in. Green onions have got a certain amount of nutrition, but a whole bunch of flavor that's just really helps your eating and your cooking. You get your greens, you get your good stuff. Coming down, you can see you've got pots and pots of it. Now coming into view, again, in pots. And for anybody that has actually seen, now that should focus. Okay, I'm going to change the method of focus on this from where it was. At least I'm going to try. Not easy for me to do. I do things wrong. What I thought would work didn't. We'll go to center focus. There. Okay, now we're in focus, so it tells me. You're looking at the peanuts we planted about 3 months ago. And they too, as you can see, are in pots. Now, if you go back in my blog, you'll find when we started these famous peanuts out, and they were just empty bags, they looked like. Okay, bringing it around. Again, check it out though. All that growth comes from peanuts. Simple as that. Above the peanuts, underneath that screen, you can just see, there they are. We got a whole mess of strawberry plants. What do we got there? We've got 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 to a row, 45 rows. How's that, math teacher? I remembered how my math tables, we have about 45, 50 strawberry plants. I'm going to keep bringing it over slowly. I hope that it works. I really do. All right, now I'm going to, you can see the peanuts, that's the top of them. Slowly going to bring, I said slowly, Brian. There. You can see how they're growing. Whoa, this is just jumping around. That's not so good. All right, gonna bring them over. Plants, bags, bags, and bags. What we did for these bags, folks, especially if you're in the Philippines, get a rice bag. You can buy them anywhere. They're not expensive, empty ones. Cut them in half, sew the bottom, and you've got 2 huge containers for vegetables. It works. How do I know it works? You're looking at the proof, folks. I'm not giving you stuff that doesn't work. I'm giving you stuff we've got growing. Now this haze you're looking at is another mosquito net. It got crushed down a bit when we cut down some bamboo, so it no longer looks like a huge giant condom in our yard. Inside there, peach eye. It grows best when the bugs can't get to it. Again, in pots. Now, bringing it around, slowly. There goes the mosquito net. And there, I'm gonna bring it, straighten it out just a bit, and bring it up. What do we get when we bring it up? There you go. Aha. That should work nicely. What you're looking at is not safe sex for vegetables. It is bitter gourd, and when it grows, you want to take, and again, you can get this stuff. This is easy. It's on a bamboo trellis. It's potted in bags, just like the peanuts. Exactly the same size, actually. And then you just give it something to climb on. A little bit of mosquito net will work. And then when it starts to grow, you get a cardboard box, which is what we did, or the ladies did, and you strip it apart, and you make a cone out of it, and wrap the cone around the bitter gourd. It grows, the bugs stay away, and you get gorgeous, delicious because they're not store-bought. They're not old, they're not hard, they're not really bitter. They're not sweet, but they're not that bitter. And they're incredibly healthy for you, easy to grow, and delicious. Bitter gourd, you can grow those on your balcony if you've got a balcony. Okay, gonna bring it along. And what we're going to see in a minute, what's more, well, I saw that right there. Will it? There, aha. What you're looking at there is a papaya tree we're growing. It's going to take a couple more months before it gets to big enough to have a fruit, but it's going to go year-round when it does. That is planted in the ground, though, I must admit. Okay, now we're going to continue to bring it over. Hopefully, staying in focus. Hopefully. There's our mosquito fence net. Actually, that's just a fence net. Little metal, rubber-coated metal. But we come along, and we have more bamboo platform to grow stuff on. This is squash. I'm gonna bring that up just a bit. It hasn't gone to blossom yet. It's only growing, but and this too is in the ground, though you could grow it in a pot if you wanted to. I'm pretty much convinced of that. You'd have to keep putting new soil in. I'm gonna bring it over slowly. Now, behind the squash that's growing, you see another mosquito net. Under that mosquito net are eggplant, half a dozen of them. This is one way to get food security. Now, you can't do this overnight. When you plant, it's going to take usually between 90 and 120 days for the plant to grow and start giving fruit. But once you do it, You can keep rolling it over. And you can do this, or parts of it, anywhere you want to. This is food security. This is having your own food. If you grow this around your house, and you can, in most of the houses I've seen, you at the very least have a wall that's got sunlight on it. You can put a pot of soil against the wall and it will grow up, and you can put a little net on it and it will stick to the net. Now, show you what I'm talking about, if I can get this. No, I probably couldn't. You've seen it anyway in my videos. Look at the other blogs. We've got a bamboo fence that's covered in stuff that's growing on it. That could as easily be vegetables as it is just a plant that grew wild. But you can do this. You can do this in Canada, some of the year. You can do this anywhere in the tropics, all of the year. And aside from cleaning the air, giving you something green and healthy around you, and producing food for you, there's a whole bunch of what? Joy? Satisfaction? Trust me, the more you get into it, the more you're going to enjoy it, and the better life you're going to lead. Now, I'm going to pull this back over just this way, just a bit, folks. That should be far enough. Then we'll put that solid. Now, here we go. Never can do this part slowly, but I'm going to try. We're coming up, 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 up. There's the tree line. Okay, there's the tree line. Back down, focus in. What you're looking at looks like just a whole mound of leafy stuff, and it is there. I'll give you a better look at it. But that whole mound of leafy stuff is some cut down bamboo, topped bamboo that has had sayote grow up over it. And it doesn't need us to hold it up. It doesn't need a trellis. It just grows on what was around it. And we get sayote, I don't know, 3 or 4 kilos a month of it, which isn't a whole bunch, but when you throw in the beans and the peanuts and the strawberries and the peach eye and the bitter gourd and ginger that we've got in here, tomatoes that we've got in another little patch over there, we've got 5 different Chinese greens growing in something right beside me. You can get fresh food on a daily basis out of a very small garden. It will not sustain you without anything else, I'm not going to lie to you, but it will give you better food and better health and a lot of satisfaction, plus on a larger scale. Get away from selfishness, although selfishness is important here. A little altruistic selfishness. You plant this green stuff, you make a better environment, you and your neighbors get along better, everybody's happier. It works that way. And on the giant scale, you're cleaning up the environment. You're making it easier to get food. You're cutting down on the food cost for transportation. You're getting food security in a major way. You can do that. And if you can find a really big bucket, you can grow your own tilapia, or you can get a really big sack of rice bag, put soil in it, and look on YouTube. Look for potatoes in a bag, or potatoes in a sack, or potatoes in a barrel. You don't have to have a big plot of land. You can take a rice bag and grow your own potatoes in a rice bag, if you like potatoes. I'm Canadian, I like potatoes. But I live in the Philippines, and I love my garden. And I hope you will grow to love yours too. All you've got to do is, next time you eat something hot, And you put in some silly peppers, take the seeds out of the silly peppers, plant them. If you've got seeds from the squash you bought at the store, plant those, dry them and plant them. You buy the vegetables, you plant the seeds, you get it going. Doesn't cost a lot, it's a lot of fun, and you get good food. And what the heck, that's enough for this video. And I really hope you'll have as much satisfaction as I do. Even as old as I am, now that I can't do much of the work, it's still such a joy to come out here and see all this food's growing. Yesterday, just how this works here, we have two ladies that do our gardening for us and cleaning and what have you. And one of the reasons this garden looks so good is because we split it. We figure it's a fair distribution of work. I'm the cheerleader. My lady happens to have a title on this land, although it's God's land. Neither one of us have the skills or the strength or indeed the time to do this much gardening. The ladies have the strength, the knowledge, the folk wisdom, and the desire to come in here and create this garden. And because of that, yesterday they took home some really nice bitter gourd, and they harvested about 2 or so kilos of tilapia, which one of the ladies will take home and eat, and the other lady will have a go at trading it for some fresh chicken, she said. And they take home greens and all. We share in this, a third, a third, and a third, because one of us owns it, one of us leads it, 2 of them work it and have the knowledge. No one person should get all of this. That would be greed. But if we work it, each of us to our needs, we're all ahead of the game. Whoa. There goes my throat. Too many years of smoking, I dare say. Ah, well, that's the way it goes some years. Haven't had a cigarette, though, in, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years? But cigarettes are worse than alcohol. I don't keep any alcohol in the house because I don't need the safety. But for the last 10 years, I've had 2 packages of cigarettes on my window shelf. I imagine by now they're all dried out and useless, but just in case I really want to have one, I keep those packages there. I've never opened them, but it's always nice to know. Tobacco's hard to beat. They tell me it's more addictive than heroin. Never having tried heroin, I don't know, but I'll believe them. Anyway, this is long enough, going on 20 minutes. So you take care. If I'm lucky and the weather's good and the camera don't break and the body's still working, I'll talk to you tomorrow, folks. Bye-bye.